It's popping. I ain't doing no long road ride today. Just chilling, enjoying this beautiful weather. So y'all ain't gonna get a nice old long video today. I had an important message. I'll post that. Ain't that important. It's just a message. But anyway, back to my love. Well, this ain't my love. My love is in the house. But back to my material love, which I try not to get too caught up in, but I can't help but to love this thing, man. As I just told my neighbor that was inquiring about my e-bike, he was like, man, I like that bike, man. Look like you be having a good time on it. And I told him, man, ain't no doubt about it. This is my happy place. This is where I come when I get stressed out, you know, when the ills of the world start breathing down my neck. This is my safe spot. No doubt about it. Put a lot of time and energy into this thing. And that's because what it does for me. I'm pretty much gone as far as I can go with it. At least until that big motor and that big controller comes. I say to myself, why do I even need it? Because it's doing its thing with my little inexpensive motor, 1500 watt, and my little inexpensive controller, 45 watt. However, if I can do that with that, I really need to see what I can do with a real motor and a real controller. Like I said, I only been in this e-bike game for a couple months now. And I know I talk like I'm a pro at this shit, but I am a confident person when it comes to gadgets and electronics and electrical. That's my field. So even though I just got in the e-bikes, all this comes natural for me. I've always known how to maximize efficiency and get the most out of everything when it comes to electronics. Like I've said before, I was in the CB and ham radio, and I don't just mean breaker 19 and all that. I mean competition, even with stereo systems. I was in those boom offs, where you had the loudest stereo systems, and you have competitions for that. Same thing with CB radio and ham radio. I was in key downs, where there's a test of your transmission power and can you outpower this guy and that guy. I mean, we ran some power. We were melting antennas and stuff, man. 5 and 6 alternators on your car, ton of batteries. But anyway, make a long story short, that's why I said, man, when it comes to this is just, it's natural for me. And this is my first e-bike. This is my first shot at modifying the e-bike. And I've done that with, just the basic stuff that you can buy off of Amazon. So, like I said, I got a QS273 and a Saviton 150 amp controller coming. And I'm almost scared to see what I'll be able to do with that. I'll probably be able to race motorcycles by the time I'm done with that. But anyway, we gonna see. That's for sure. But yes, indeed, if you feel the need for more speed, you're in the right place. And you ain't gotta spend a ton of money, y'all. You just gotta know what you're doing. Maximize efficiency and get the most out of everything. And not to the point where you're blowing stuff up, because you can do that. Trust me, I've fried enough transistors and power supplies and all that kind of stuff in my lifetime, but at the same time, I was able to repair those things. So I ain't never been scared to fry something. I ain't worried about that. But anyway, it is a beautiful day. Just look. Now, I've gotten into a few squabbles on Facebook groups with DIY guys, other DIY guys, and other YouTubers, because some of those guys are just buttheads and think they know everything. Even though I think I know a lot too. Don't get me wrong. I got a big head too, but I pretty much feel like I can back it up when it comes to this electrical and electronic stuff. So, hey, I'm a talk trash when it comes to this. Anything else, you know, I'm gonna leave alone. But when it comes to my field and what I know about, absolutely, absolutely, I'm gonna talk a lot of smack. So, I guess after I get that new motor and controller, I'm gonna see what that does. And I also said that I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to use that Saviton because I wanted to run 120 volts. And I'm not quite sure if those Savitons can handle that much voltage. I'm sure it can be modified to do so, put some bigger caps in it and all that, but I ain't trying to go through all that. I want a controller that was designed to do that. And I've seen that in those far drivers, they come set up to handle 128 volts. So, like I told people in my other video, I'm going for a high voltage, low power consumption system. It's going to have a large capacity battery bank, But at the same time, it's going to draw low amps because I'm going to be running high voltage. And like I tried to explain before, Ohm's law, amps times volts equals watts. And if you know how to, work with formulas, if you can increase either one of those variables, that's going to increase your power output. So instead of staying at 72 volts and having to get a controller that can handle 300 and 400 amps, I'm going to increase the voltage, or finding a controller that can handle higher voltage. Therefore, it's going to draw less current, but give me the same outcome, more watts. Now you can increase both. And when you increase both, then that's when you're talking about blowing up some stuff. Because then you got every piece of equipment going balls to the walls then when you running maximum volts and maximum amps through it. But if you just finagle with one of those variables, you can get away with doing just what I said, making your power output hella stronger than what it is. So yeah, if I increase my voltage, I will not need as many amps. And when it comes to e-bikes, I think that's the best way to go, especially if you're trying to increase speed. And at the same time, when you're increasing speed, you don't want to lose your range by pulling a whole lot of amps. So to get around that, we're going to increase the voltage to off the wall volts. Like I said, I'm going to run as many volts as I can. Whatever that far driver can handle, that's how many volts I'm running. And let's hope by doing so, I can get the output watts that I'm looking for and decrease my phase amps and my amps, my power amps that's being drawn from my battery system. So hopefully I won't need a whole lot of battery capacity. I'll still need enough, don't get me wrong, but I won't need whereas though I gotta fill that whole center up with cells. Nah. 120 volts at about let's say 20 amps. That should give me what I'm looking for. Absolutely. And if you do the math on that, you'll figure out what those watts are. Anyway, that's that. That's all I got for now. And I holler at y'all. Deuces. I have to make this little short clip to correct what I said a few minutes ago. I said 120 volts at 20 amps, which will basically give me about the same power output that I have right now. It's about 2,400 to 3,000 watts, which ain't an awful lot, but that's about how many watts I'm running right now, and that's the speed I'm getting, which is enough. But that is decreasing, cutting the amp draw that I'm doing now in half, which I'm drawing about 45 amps, and I got a ton of range with that 45 amps. So if I can cut that 45 amps in half to 20 amps, that's going to keep the power output about the same, which is enough for me. And use less current. That's the goal. Now, if I really want to get busy now, don't get me wrong, I still can run that same 45 amps then, but then that's going to double it almost to like 4,800, 5,000 watts. And trust me, that's going to be enough. You don't need 10,000 watts and 15,000 watts, not to ride on the street with. If you notice guys that's running those type of power levels, they're running in the dirt, in dirt tracks and trails and stuff. You need more power when you're, you know, using dirt bikes and stuff. Dirt bikes require more power output because you're going through all that hard, rough terrain. But on the street, you don't need that much power. 5,000 watts on the street, man, that's plenty. That's plenty enough to get yourself in trouble with. Because I'm only doing about maybe 2,500, 3,000 now, and that's plenty. All right, deuces again.